Gopakumar sir, I am giving you access again. Yes.
Yes. So, good evening, friends. I am Gopakumar, the coordinator of the Indian Classical Dancers Association. On behalf of ICDA, I would like to welcome all those who have joined for our session today. Before that, I would like to say two sentences about the objectives of the association. Indian Classical Dancers Association was formed around 2 years back, and the main objective of the association is to promote classical dances and classical dancers. And we have around 15,000 members in the Facebook page and 1,300 members in 6 WhatsApp groups from all over the world. In every city in India, we have got a dancer in our group, and in all major countries like USA, UK, Africa, Vietnam, Malaysia, Singapore, every place we have got a dancer, and who are all well connected with us. Within a second, with a WhatsApp message, we get connected, and and we had been organizing various programs during these last 2 years. We had been organizing competitions in Bharatanatyam, Mohiniyattam, Kathak, and also training programs, lecture demonstrations of eminent personalities, even Padma Shri awardees and senior gurus. And also we had been conducting various sessions with government officials. Like we had a very important discussion with the Director General of ICCR on the promotions and the activities that they have for the classical dancers. And also we are trying to have discussions with the government officials and trying to find out the ways and means for dancers to get more opportunities and also get a revenue, especially during this pandemic situation, because the situation is very bad now, especially for all performing artists. And so we have to try to find out the ways and means of overcoming the situation. So we have all these objectives in the mind. And in the meantime, I would like to request all those who have joined who are not members of the ICDA WhatsApp group, may please give your mobile numbers in the chat box so that I can add you in the group, and you get all the details of activities of ICDA, and also you get to know what all are happening all over the world, because all the members are posting their programs and details. So you get to know what all things are happening all over the world. So please give your mobile numbers in the chat box. And also I would like to announce that we, during the World Dance Day, we are going to have a unique contest, a Navarasas video and photo contest for members. And it's going to be a photo festival or a video festival, so that all members can post their photos and videos in the WhatsApp group and the Facebook page on the World Dance Day. So we have a lot of activities coming up, and today we are really happy to have one of the senior most persons in our country to address during this day. So Dr. Parul Shah is not only a dancer, a choreographer, a guru, educator, scholar, and overall a model role for all the dancers in India. So on behalf of ICDA, may I welcome Dr. Parul Shah to this program. And also I would like to introduce our host, Charanya Gurusatya from Pune, who is a coordinator of ICDA for Maharashtra, and she is one of the excellent hosts, and she is a professional anchor also. And I introduce her, and I request her to officially introduce Dr. Parul Shah. Charanya Gurusatya.
Thank you, Gopakumar sir. Namaste. Very good evening to all of you. Brief introduction of our main guest today, Professor Srimati Dr. Parul Shah is a rare combination of performing artist, a cross-cultural choreographer, a Bharatanatyam guru, dance educator, scholar, researcher, arts administrator, and a highly motivated human being. She was appointed as the professor in dance in 1993 and became the head of department of MSU Maharaja Shahaji University of Baroda and also the Dean and Faculty of MSU Baroda. And she is a recipient of Senior Artist Fellowship for the Department of Culture of HRD in the year 2019-2020 for her work in the area of new madhams. Professor Shah was selected by the chairman UGC and awarded the prestigious MHRD project of creating e-Pathshala in the performing arts of dance, drama, theatre. And she was the first principal investigator of all subjects to complete the project in record time in October 2016. And she was invited by MHRD to create a massive open online course in performing arts. And she has started many international and national dance festivals in the memory of her late guru, Srimati Anjali Mar, known as the Nritya Parva. An active dance career of nearly 50 years in classical, folk, contemporary, and creative has taken her to many countries like UK, USA, Italy, Greece, France, South Korea, Thailand, and the list is becoming endless. And in July 2017, she's taught Garba in Derbyshire, UK to professional dance, modern dancers for the 70-year celebration of the India-Britain relationship. And she was invited by the MP Government Cultural and Tourism Department to curate an exhibition known as the Nepatya in the world-famous Khajuraho Dance Festival. Recently, in April 2020, Ram Anand Sagar was telecasted on Doordarshan on a special suggestion by our Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi ji. Srimati Parul has chaired and is a member of many academic and cultural committees in local, state and national and international levels. Well versed in handling active performing career, running successfully her repertory company known as the Anjali Memorial Committee. And she's supporting many research scholars, guiding them in the field of performing arts. A very warm welcome to you, ma'am. Without any further delay, we would like to address the first question on behalf of all the participants here. In India, the concept of Guru Shishya Parampara has survived despite all the modernizing mechanisms which has been adapted in the dance pedagogy. The role of a dance teacher, a mentor or a guru is becoming a very crucial one. Can you please throw some light on the Guru Shishya Parampara and this transformation in the dance pedagogy? Over to you, ma'am.
Namaste to everyone, and once more I thank ICDA, Gopakumar sir and Sharanya to bring us all together. It is maybe one of the first programs of ICDA where there will be no dance, but dance will be there, and we will talk about dance, which is dancing to me anytime. Guru Shishya Parampara, what is it? Only for dance is it valid, or it remains valid for any and all subjects? How does the personal involvement, I think the main crux and the main point of Guru Shishya Parampara is a personal involvement, because when you look at the history of dance of post-independence, post-Indian independence of about 300-400 years, that's where we find some records of dance and notes, where you realize that all that teaching was done, the purpose. See, everything gets into what is the purpose to teach. You go to school, you go to kindergarten, then higher standards. What is the purpose? It is to acquire the basics to survive in the world. Then you may go for any further training or you may not. That will depend on your choice, your circumstances, and so much. So what was the purpose that dance teaching? Because when we talk of pedagogy, then you talk of teaching. But what was the dance teaching in the post-independence? You have mainly the Natuvanars and Devadasis, you have the Maharis and the Gotipuas, and you have the Nautch girls and the Maharaj, and similar things in the southern part of Kerala with Mohiniyattam and Kathakali and so forth. There it was the family art. It passed on from generation to generation, from uncles, from fathers, from brothers to the daughter-in-laws, and sisters, and so on and so forth. And that was used. The purpose was, as we say, for the worship. It started as the worship in the temple. But all the Devadasis, all the Maharis, if there were 400 in the Rajaraja temple, they were not all dancers. Those who could acquire the dancing skills at the best, they were the dancers. And the rest had lot of work in the temple that they had carried out, along with learning to dance, because it's from morning to night in a family. You have music, you have dance continuously going. So it's like vibrant in every atom of your body. And that was presented to the God for the blessings. But as the times changed, from the gods, it went to the king. From the kings, it went to the kachari. And after independence, the scenario changed because Bharat, India, became the sovereign democratic republic where each individual had total right to learning. Then it did not remain that the doctor's son can only learn doctory, the engineer's son or daughter can only be engineer, or the dancer's son or daughter can only become dancer. Everyone across India, across cultures, across states, you could learn anything that you want. In that situation, what happened to the Guru Sishya Parampara, which was part of your family enclosure? That gets into the groups. So the spirit that was there, we try to continue the same spirit. But from 1947 to 2021, there is been a lot of changes in the spirit. And even if we feel it is different, it's gone, no, it is there. Maybe the names we do not give as Guru Sishya because the Acharya, the teacher, all are part of the training. So that I think brings to an first question that what is Guru Sishya Parampara? To me, Guru Sishya Parampara is a connection between two people. Maybe it is a dance teacher to the dance student, or maybe it is a spiritual guru to a Sishya. But it is intense. It is very personal. It is highlighting, guiding the individual on the correct path that the guru feels is right. Sometimes there are conflicts in that area because as the child grows, the shishya becomes an independently thinking individual. Then he or she can challenge the guru. And it is said that in Gujarati we said Guru Karta Shishya Savayo Joye. The student has to be 1.25 times more than the guru, then only the guru is successful. So this is the scenario that one understands from the Guru Sishya Parampara. There was, as I said, learning of music and dance throughout in the families. The teachers, mainly the Natuanars, the Maharaj or the masters, they were all dominantly male, and the learners were dominantly females. So there was also a gender equation, but we don't need to bring that here, because as we are talking of only the pedagogical issues concerned, let's be concentrate on that area. So Sharanya, and I would suggest, if uh, people have question, hang on, we will give you time, write down your questions, and we'll try and answer as much as possible. Please, Sharanya.
Thank you, Didi. Having said that, dance is surely becoming a life-changing adaptation for many of us. In that context, nowadays, classical dance learning has taken up by many youngsters for certification or to benefit out of it as how it's going to benefit them in future. And what would be the way forward for the young dancers to actually take it up seriously after learning for quite some years of their life?
If I have understood something, the Natya Shastra says that these arts are not for earth, that is money generating. You may get money, but it will not give you the kind of riches of Ambani's. It will give you enough maybe to sustain, and that's what you look for. So first and foremost, the purpose to follow any artistic trend is to be happy within yourself, and through that happiness be creative. That is the major purpose. So if you want to take art as a life, last about 10 years, I started telling my students that please pursue another career, because in today's times, all family members have to earn to sustain. So if you want to earn money and pursue dance, sometimes it becomes very conflicting, because if you are in even Baroda, where I live, is comparatively a smaller city. Maybe yearly we have 5 concerts of classical dance, and that to go half full, it's almost impossible. You can ask any of the dancers to sell tickets and get an audience who will buy tickets and come. So what is your, I mean, you have worked to 6 months minimum to get one concert organized. So first and foremost, certification, yes, fine, necessary, but it it may give you a school job and you be happy with it. But if you are into dance area, get another job, start another business, take another career, which allows you the freedom to give yourself to dance, to enjoy dance. Because we are forgetting these two things, that do we want to be creative and dancing, or do we want to be just earning and getting a publicity in dancing? So these are the kind of things. And of course, when you study as child, any of these arts, games, sports, they bring out so much of you. They train your bodies, your minds, your cognitive capacities, and so on and so forth. So it is very imperative that during your first grade to 11th, 12th grade, you must pursue one or two sports, one or two arts, to enrich your life for future. This I am talking only till you are in 12th grade. Then comes your choice. Now, if from young age a child of 10 years is just simply keen that no, my life is going to be dance and dance and dance, then he or she has to find out within there, wherever they are living, or the parents can send somewhere, find out a decent guru who will take the not only responsibility of teaching dance. The guru will have to, the teacher, the acharya will have to see the progress of the child for 2-3 years, see how she or he is going, and if they find material enough, they have to guide the person through the life to become whatever the child or artist wants. Because by the time you are 18 to 20, you are in a prime of your life, 2022, until 40 you perform Zoom, because you are physically in your peak, emotionally enriched, and you understand your psyche also so much. After 40 there is a maturity, but the full of youth is different than this mature life. So if you want to be performing artist, you have to be ready by 2022 and going. Sharanya.
Thank you so much, Didi. In continuation about when you were talking about taking up dance academically or getting into an university to do a BA in dance after their 12th, or to do an MA in dance after 12th, the many of them who were passionate about taking it up as a profession and they join courses to BA and MA to graduate out of it as a full-time student. What is the advice to them? Because they obviously come out with a thought process that yes, this is going to give me a life ahead. I can take it up as my profession. So how can they sustain it after their education as a mainstream into dance?
I didn't want to go personal, but I may give my example that this is in 1970, 69, 70. I was on the this, where should I go, here or here? I wanted to do dance because I didn't know much of dance, but because of an individual, I was so much impressed and I wanted to be like that person. So how can I be like that person? I have to learn dance. All right, learn dance. I was doing BSc Physics Mathematics and I was doing BPA Dance Bharatanatyam because my family had nothing to do with dance previously and in future. So if they allowed me, because at that point it was allowing, at that point it was not just my choice that I will do this. No, they also have to, because they have to put up a lot of things. So they allowed me saying that, okay, you do science, your work. I had medical admission. I said, no, medical science, astrophysics and dance. So this went together. Then after graduation, 2 degrees, what do we do? Now I don't want to do anything else but dance. So there was, no, you can't do that, because some point in life you may need to earn, you need to do something. And how will you do it? Through dance. No one had heard. All that people had heard about dance earning was the Devadasis or the Notch Girls. And at that point in 1975, people were not very keen on having daughters or daughter-in-laws or even friends as dancers. So my choice was LLB special, and MA in dance, because dance I will not leave. After MA in dance, then it was my choice. And I said, now I will go totally for dance, no more anything else. So my viva in LLB, the principal said, this is a gain to dance and loss to law. So that's how it was. But it is very essential that, and those 5 years, hold on, 6 years that I danced Bharatanatyam, learned Bharatanatyam, morning began at 7:30, reaching college. And the best part in the university teaching that I find even today is that the courses are structured. We have 3 hours of practical training, and the class is 1-to-1. You have maximum 5 to 7 or 10 students in a huge studio class for teacher 3 hours. Then you have theory of dance, which opens your mind and brain to not only the practice of dance, but also the world dance, the text of dance, rasa, bhava, no, kabuki, modern, ballet, everything, abhinay darpanam, everything is studied in detail. In the 3 hours of practice, you learn dancing, dancing, dancing. You learn in Bharatanatyam, you learn Natuangam, you draw journal, because none of us knew Tamil. We were not born in Tamilian families, so we didn't know Tamil. We had to write each and every word, its meaning, the Shabdartha, Padartha, Vakyartha, and the whole story. Yattane shonnalum. If somebody told my mother will come and say, if I came from in anger that, oh, I don't want this, he's doing this and that to me, my mother will say today, okay, good, come back, you can't live with that man. She will not say, how many times I told you not to come like that, go back. No. So there was a vast cultural difference, a vast sensibility difference. We all had to imbibe that. But we have rich library. So after 4 hours of learning practical and theory, you go and work in the library. Afternoon, 3 hours minimum of your personal practice was must, or practice with for some performance training. And evening, you have to compulsorily go to the class, in the diploma class, and practice Natyam. So it was like 8 to 8 class. It was like living in a Guru Sishya house, but a university setting which allowed you the freedom to think, which allowed you universality of ideas, that every year you learn from 5 teachers. Basic, okay, we had Kalakshetra school of training in basic. So everything, first year Kalakshetra is grounded in you. So that was it. But at the end of 5 years, you learned what are the different banis, what are the differences, how it is one to another or not. Because we had one teacher, master, who came directly from the Tanjavur Devadasi family. And everything gelled so well, so perfect, because we think that it is the total amalgamation of modern technology, modern pedagogical ideas, along with the traditional value system. Hard work. I mean, if you want to be a doctor, let's say, put it that way, will you be okay? Just you go to the class, just attend, go to the canteen and walk out. Can you do that? And if there are 150 students in one class of medicine, here there are maximum 10 students in one class of dance in university. Then that means what? You have to be 15 times better than them to be equal. To be equal to a medical professional, if you want to be called a dancer, you have to be that good, that active, that hardworking. And without discipline, self-discipline, and love, crazy love, love. Saying that dance is my life is one thing, but slogging 3 hours for Tattadav and from Alaripu or for Tatkar or for anything is another thing. And maybe this is the time, this 1 year that we all have got, is the time for us to do this, to practice by self. And self practice is the best teacher for us. Yes, Sharanya.
Thank you so much, Didi. Now moving on from the student perspective to a teacher. The young teachers like me and many established teachers who are trying to impart this knowledge to the future generation. How should we address our students? Because the need of the hour, we have to obviously adapt to the current scenario, the method of teaching. We need to be creative, innovative, cater to some of them who take it up as a hobby, some of them who wants to take it up as a profession and still want to continue as passion. So what is the advice for the teachers, as gurus who are going to teach the art?
I don't think this is an advice, but because whenever you start teaching, the purpose is to impart knowledge, and you have to first judge who are you imparting the knowledge. If you are teaching a child of 5 7, I mean 7, we would not take anybody younger than 8 to 9 years to learn Bharatanatyam, till because the body is not built, the thighs are not strong enough to take the weight. So that child is getting introduced to an art form. So that pedagogic, those teaching methods have to be inspirational. The child comes to you twice a week, 2 hours in the evening. She and he has done whole day of schooling. And you say, oh, tatado, arai mandi, arai mandi. I did that. But now I realize, yes, that is necessary to continue the form of Bharatanatyam. But along with that, I have to balance it today in some method that will allow the child to enjoy the art as an art form. This is challenge today for all the teachers, because and in that 5 7 years of training to young child, when they become 14 15, by that time you realize that of this batch of 10 students, one really is dance for dance. You have to take that student ahead and guide in all things that you consider important to become a professional artist. You have to give knowledge of music. If you do not have that knowledge of music, Sanskrit texts, and so forth, either you invite a teacher in your class to impart this knowledge, or you guide the student, the child, and her parents to go and learn. There is always this competition that if I give something to my child or student, then they will take away my student. Don't be so insecure. Doesn't matter. Let her go. Let her enjoy the freedom. Let him enjoy the freedom. Nobody takes away anything of anybody. Whatever you are going to get, you're going to get. So this insecurity. Then every year you make small concerts that they can perform, because performance in dance, most of the people join dance to perform. There is an audience performer connect, which is so very inspiring, so very heart feeling, that everyone wants to be on the stage. There is this narcissist element. We all have the exhibition element. And most of the time, the parents are all willing, running around with mobiles on one or the other side to take their child. Many times also it gets into the duty of the teacher to even graduate the parents, that look, as you are interested in your child dancing, you need to be interested in dance. So observe others. You start buying tickets for watching, then only others will come and buy tickets for your concert. And the teacher needs to explore his or her knowledge area, because what happens, you get the title guru, that is it, period. I am the guru. I no more practice, I no more read, I no more do anything. And that's where the downfall comes, because your concentration is, and okay, we have two varnams. How do we survive whole life on two varnams? So you have got to learn to create. And in the university courses, in the master's program, we have a whole paper on creativity in Nritya and creativity in Nritya, along with a research project. Because When you get out in masters, as I said, these 5 years only gives you strong knowledge, strong plinth for building a big building. So after that, you have to, if you are in performance area, you have to get connected to a group which is performing, which would accept you to be part of that, or you create your own. But and you want to have solo, like in all fields, you have to invest. You have to invest in costumes, in music, in publicity, in hosting your own maybe 3, 4, 5 concerts in different cities, so that you get good reviews, you people come and watch you, and next time you are invited. You have to build up. So you have to become a solo artist. You have to really work hard. 50% of the training that you do in the class, and 50% is after training. So because everyone tells which university has created dancers, and no, we have not created. Nobody can be created. We have given good grounding, strong knowledge. Now they have to work and come up to become a dancer. In 5 years, can anyone be a expert medical practitioner? Tell me that. Expert engineer? Tell me that. No, they all have to work. They have to work. Then only they become expert. When does one become an expert? This is it. So I would suggest to young dancers that please continue practice, learn more and more and more, and then teach more and more and more. You must analyze yourself where you are lacking and learn that more, because now everything is available online. There is no problem, no dearth of learning. But you have to put 4 hours, 6 hours a day to make dance as your career. Not only just come sit in the evening. Divya.
I think,
1 second.
yes.
Hello, sorry.
That's okay.
So, as I was saying, every day the teacher has to put up, not just come in the evening to the room, take up the palaha and tatakali, take the class, go away, and it's over, and the money is given. No, that's not enough. You have to work on it, learn and see different dance forms of the world, appreciate, admire, understand people who are creating, talk, relate. And I think today everyone is open enough. When you write an email, people will answer your questions. You can call, take time, you can call and understand, or read books in the library. I mean, there are so many resources easily available. The young teachers have to do that to make their students brilliant.
Thank you so much, Didi. Before, we keep it open for the participants. If you can give us a brief insight into this wonderful work that you're doing with MHRD. I'm sure all of us are really keen to know about it. Just a brief about what you're doing.
I'll show you two
Yes.
brief videos of one practical and one theory, which will get an idea to the new pedagogical methods, how you teach, how you understand. And the MHRD project was creating a master's course in dance, especially Bharatanatyam. I was asked to do that and by the UGC and MHRD. It took me about 6 to 8 months to create a vision of coming 50 years. What will be the dance scenario and what should be taught to students? That's how we created 8 papers of theory and 8 papers of practice. In theory, each paper has 35 modules, and each module has about 8 pages, so 8,000 words, something like that. We'll just show you briefly one theory and one practical module.
तक्किट तक्क तक्क धीमी 3 phrases है. So when you do permutation combination, 3 can be 3 by 3, 9 variations you can do. This is when you choreograph, you will have to know all these variations, because you may do Sankirna Laripu takka takka dhimmi takkita. Someone may do takkita takka takka dhimmi. Someone may do takka dhimmi takkita takka.
Takka takkita.
हाँ, tam tit tam kitta takka tei. Tattai kitta takka tam. Dit tam kitta takka tei. Tattai kitta takka tam. Ditta tei tei kitta takka tei. Tattei tei tei kitta takka tam. Ditta कोनी उठाओ tei. Tattei tei tei kitta takka.
The training regimen in the case of traditional dances is often as demanding as that of classical dance. Now, in this category of traditional dances, I would include Chow dance of Purulia, Mayurbhanj and Saraikela, the Gaudiya Nrit of Bengal, Vilasini Natyam of Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, and the dances of the Gotipuas of Odisha, for instance. In the years when teaching has to accompany performance, things are sometimes breathlessly rushed and cause great stress. Many dancers deal with such situations by calling in senior students to help out. The joy of seeing yourself giving back to the field and the joy of producing a good next generation dancer cannot be measured. They say it is good fortune to find a good teacher, but equally it is good fortune for a teacher to find a good student.
Sharanya,
Yes, Didi.
one of other very dear project to me was when I got senior Fulbright fellowship to go and work on movement analysis of the Padams of Bharatanatyam using Laban no analysis system, and it's one of the very rare research areas, which is because it's so tedious and so tough that most of the Indian researchers have kind of hesitant in getting into that. I'll talk about it some other time. But
Sure.
just to let
Maybe
you
we will
know.
have another
And
session.
another
just for
thing
that.
is for all dancers, however strong in today's world, dance performance is one area, but dance choreography, creating a repertory company of dancers and creating productions, dance lighting and theater design, dance criticism, costume design, and so many fields. Entrepreneur skills have to be developed. People are going to do work, are working already on how to develop these entrepreneur skills. We will be shortly offering a course on dance management. Okay.
Wow. Okay. So we're all going to become management students in the field of dance as
It
well.
is dance management and of course dance therapy, because now earlier, which was inherent in our education or what we call teaching, like when we do let's say tayyum tattat tayyum taha, you have the right and center and left and center, and your head, your eyes, your shoulder, your feet all go simultaneously, and yato hastas tato drashti. Wherever all this is completely one, there is rasa. So all those things were part of our training, but it was not verbalized because we understood, we imbibed. Now is the time that we have to let our student know all these things. And when your mind and body are coordinated and tight, that is the most therapeutic area for your body's sustenance. And that is now becoming dance therapy. You see, therapy is used for children, adults, trauma patients, emotional trauma, mental trauma, all kinds of things. Therapy is necessary. So that is again one area. So dancers have lot of fields if they want to explore after, but good strong training. Anything else can come later, but strong training, your own practice, and good strong teacher. Both teachers who are strong are always tough. I'll tell you that. It's not easy to work with them, but once you work with them, you are through. My own experience from my teacher and my own experience of my students, both. No one will deny that.
Sure. Thank you so much, Sri. I think the chat box is, people are just asking me to let the floor open. So I'm just going to unmute everybody. Please raise your hand so that we can take the questions in an order. So you can just raise your hand on the from the chat box by the time I can give you an access. So you could just unmute yourself and stop and talk. Didi, you might also have to unmute yourself.
How to raise hand? You raise hand by going to reactions.
Okay, I think we have Srilekha ma'am to be addressing.
Namaste, Parul Ben.
Namaste.
Yeah. I am an Odyssey student of Kelucharan Mahapatra and Jhelam Paranspai from Mumbai, if you've heard about her. Yeah, there are many.
Jhelam is a good friend.
Yes, I know that. Yeah. So there were many dance, as in a lot of people approach me to, they haven't taken qualification, though they are in the Guru Sishya Parampara. But there are teachers who have not taken proper degrees with dance, like only if Gandharva Mahavidyalaya, or especially in Maharashtra, as you know, and but they haven't gone through proper systematic, exams of other, like proper UGC recognized universities. So my question to you is, as in how do they mean, as in they are all established teachers in their own fields, be it Bharatanatyam, Odissi, but they want to have a degree. So is it possible, at how is it possible, if it is possible? But
Uh,
they've definitely crossed
one
their ages because they have nearly three decades of experience of teaching and learning and performing. So, you
one
know,
thing I would be very clear, if I am in their place, why would I want to go and get a degree? I have my own work of the to 20 30 years in, I'm performing, I'm teaching. Why would I want to have a degree? And a lot of people find university jobs very lucrative because the kind of salaries the university and UGC offer
yeah.
really make you wonder, why can't I do that? But I'll just give an example of my university, which is supposed to be which was the dance started the first in 1949 in MS University in Baroda.
Hmm.
Since then till today, we have only 4 posts for Bharatanatyam and 4 posts for Kathak. Now, during this 70 years, we must have had at least 300 to 400 students graduating with flying colors in Bharatanatyam and same number in Kathak. Now, we can't even give jobs to all our students. And there are maybe maximum 10 or 15 universities in whole
Huh.
of India so far. So why run behind university jobs if you are already established? And if you are young and you still look for university jobs, then you have to go gradually and complete all the demands that UGC prescribes. There is no shortcut in that area.
Actually, what happens is, like, you know, there are there are few friends of mine. I'm in Abu Dhabi last 5 years now. So so few, you know, dance colleagues here. They were looking for some you know, course, and they were asking me about it. But because what happens is, when you're traveling outside India, and supposing you want a performing artist visa, okay, you want to settle in a country, like if you want to go to Australia, or if you want to go to, even Dubai is issuing artist category visas now. So but you know what, they're look, if you have point based system, and they're actually looking for degrees in hand for the, you just can't be a performing artist, we need to certify ourselves. So even in India, you are established teacher and a dancer and a performer, but in case it at any point of life, you
I
know,
understand.
yeah.
I understand, but to get these kind of certificates earlier, some of the universities were offering distant education courses in dance. But then
Yes.
UGC decided that how can you have the direct teaching as distance education? So no way. And Swayam course, which UGC has started, if they go through, they each paper is 4 credits. It is total postgraduate course, but they have to study that. They have to appear in the exams. It's 2 years course. They can join, and if they want to have certificate, it's only 1,000 rupees fee. And if they
Oh,
want to study, free, MOOCs free.
so it's available for Bharatnatyam and Kathak.
It is only Bharatanatyam that we have done so far. We are in the process for Kathak and Odissi, but it's going
Oh,
to take time because, oh, doing these modules is no joke, my dear friend. Oh, it's too much. It's too much.
I agree to it, I agree to it. I
And
worked with,
it's not only just performing, it's all coming together.
yes.
Each
So
module,
do,
I'll tell you, each module has 4 quadrants. One is the text, one is the video audio, that what you saw of Arsha Sethi or me, one is the reference material, and one is the quiz and the test. All you have to do, and it's all to be computerized. Each paper has 35 such modules. So the course has 560 modules. And you know, we artists, how temperamental we are. So, wow, tough job, but challenging and fun. So we are in the process.
Okay. So, as in this is the first time it is getting launched, or it is launched already
Oh, this
for
is
Bharatanatyam?
launched in 2016.
Oh, sorry
Yeah,
for being an
yeah,
outdated, being outside India. Okay. So you're trying to say the one for Bharatanatyam is already up and running, yeah?
yeah, 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 yeah.
So, do they get with the admission team in your?
Swayam, please go on government, this swayam.gov.in
Okay,
and all
okay,
the details.
okay, okay. Thank you, Parveen. Namaskar. Namaskar.
Thank you, Srilekha. I think we have Ms. Darshini Manjunath with a question.
Namaste, ma'am.
Namaste.
Hope you're doing good.
Yes, as you see, I am doing good.
Yes, ma'am. My question is, I just want your experience on this, because being a dancer and a performer, we have a lot of questions in our mind generally. Now, certification, as all of us know, is a must for most of us being teachers. Now, what do you look into after 10 or 15 years? I just want your experience so that we can be prepared for our upcoming things.
No, sorry, I didn't get your question. Like, what do you get after 10, 15 years? What do
No,
you mean?
what is the what will be the situation of dance? Because earlier we knew certification is not important, but we were always into our practicing and we were always into our sadhana. This is must for all the dancers, as we all know, and we are into it. But can you just throw us little light? What can be the upcoming things, or what can be the future for the dancer? You said that always there should be two things, as a profession and dance being together. We should have the second option also, but still to know more on this, if I can get.
As I see the world going today, and the youngsters from 15 to 35 who will be the futures, you and me, I feel that the world is very small because you can see everything on a click. So you have, as a teacher, you need to be little more sharper and little more conversant with what is happening in the world of dance, in theory, in practice, in all areas of dance. If not too much, a little more conversant to the world of dance. Then you need to encourage your students, because we do not get liberty of doing a margam for 3 hours when Alaripu will become a warm up. You have 10 minutes and you have to show your best. So you have to be so much done, 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 done. So your practice, your teaching, though it has to be a margam, 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 there is no compromise in that area. But at the same time, you have to keep them sharp, focused, and active. So their bodies have to be trained. You have to give them yoga sense. You have to give them maybe Pilates and all kinds of things. This is what I feel that 15, 20 years dance will be. And certification, if that is the need, because in every field there is. And when you take dance as art education, education definitely will require certification. So wherever the exams are available, you have to also look at the creditability of the people who are conducting these exams. There are many places where they say, we will give you a certificate, and people run, but there is no creditability of getting this many certificates of no value. So you have to find out places where the honest, uh, what word I can use, credible institution is offering a test.
As we all know, the certification, whatever is happening right now, me being in Karnataka also, we generally, Bangalore University doesn't provide a student who is of the age group of 10 or 12 to take up exam. Now, as a teacher, we generally go for certification for the examination, which is offered by probably Meeraj or for Rabindra Bharati University. Or how do we take this further, ma'am? Do you feel this is
And what are you talking for yourself or you talking for your students?
no, generally for the students right now,
But
as
what age student you talking? Those
this
who
would
just
be
started learning,
no
because like
probably
in Gujarat, like in Karnataka, I know you have the Gujarat board, and we have like Gandharva Vidyalaya or Akhil Bharatiya Gandharva Vidyalaya. These are boards, and all the dance teachers are registered in that, and every year they conduct exam. So end of that, you have a Visharat or a Alankar at 5 years and 7 years, and which is recognized to open a dance class private. In university, we have diplomas after 5 year, 5th year, in the sense of 5th grade. The student can join and get a diploma certificate in 4 years. But these are only basics. If they want to opt for a higher job or something, they have to go in regular university.
yes. Yeah. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you for your time.
Well,
Do we have any more questions, or could we conclude? I think, Didi, your session was so enlightening and gripping that we're actually still thinking. I think even as teachers, we are still contemplating on ourselves as to what we are doing, or are we actually in the right path? What more should we learn? The takeaway, at least for me today, is as a teacher, is to continue being creative, innovative, and do not stop learning. And I'm sure the younger dancers and teachers here would really agree with me. And thank you so much for such an enlightening session today.
I would just add 2 more words, that all dancers must decide today, those who are here, that they will daily practice 2 hours at least from today onwards, and read, because there are so many magazines, so many books, online, offline, of dance. Discuss with friends, people, make friends. If you're not friends, make friends. This ICDA has so many, Gopakumar sir said, 15,000 dance enthusiastic. So at least connect to 10 and discuss with them what are all issues, what you like, and if things will work slowly. We all have to work together.
I think Miss Girija Ravindranath has a question, or would you like to say something?
Yes, I would like to thank Srimati Parul Shah. Thank you very much, Parul.
Thank you.
I want to say hello to you also, because I remember you from Kalakshetra once you came with Anjali Ben.
Yes,
Yes,
of course.
Yeah, I was a junior student then, many years back.
75, 76, 19.
Yes.
Those were the days, my friend.
Yes. Definitely. I remember Anjali Ben, and you taught us some folk dances.
Yes, Tiffany.
Yes. So I just wanted to say this is wonderful to hear you, and so many, so many new things, not new things. They are all connected to the university and courses and all that. I'm in Kerala, staying in Kerala. I have classes. I've been teaching for many years now.
Wonderful.
And as you said, there is a degree from Kalakshetra, but then I'm quite satisfied with that, and continuing to teach.
And Kalakshetra degree is even valid today. It was a diploma. Now, after being the Fine Arts College, it is degree. But that diploma is also valid, equivalent. Always there is an equivalence which has to be established. and Kalakshetra already always had that.
Yes, yes. No, I just wanted to say I'm totally satisfied with whatever diploma or whatever I have, because the teaching is so beautiful. I'm enjoying, I still am enjoying myself teaching the little ones and the bigger ones and my senior students who have not yet taken up dance as a profession, but still they are over there in that brink, they're deciding whether to do this or not to do this. As you said, art is not a much paying
And
field.
another thing I would like to tell to all, everyone, that just before we started the lecture, I was telling Gopakumar sir and Sharanya that everyone cannot be Tansen. Everyone cannot be Srimati Rukmini Devi Arundel or
Yes.
Srimati Bala Saraswati. But everyone can be a Rasika and a Saradaya. So please encourage all your students and their families to go and see each and every classical dance concert that happens in your city. Outside
Exactly.
they may not go, but
Yes.
this is the only way that the dance will be seen and appreciated once more, because we are
Yes.
running against race in certain areas. So how do we get back is by our own efforts, and the students, their families must go and watch.
Yes, I take my students as much as possible. I force them to come with me, which was a practice in Kalakshetra too. I'm continuing that. Yes,
Yes.
very good. Thank you very much, Farooq.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good evening, ma'am. My name is Sheetal Kakkar, and I am from Delhi. I am professionally an IT professional. I am working with one of the MNC, and as you said that art should be taken as a part of life, but should not be looked at from the monetary perspective. So that's where, in fact, I also started learning Bharatanatyam, and the biggest motivation which I got was from my mother, because I am from a North Indian family. So there's no relation of any classical dance form happening in our family. So there was not much of encouragement, but my mother supported me because any dance form needs an investment. And my mother, supported me for all the classes, my costume. And the second thing was my guru, who taught me. And now I have done my Visharad in Bharatanatyam, and I am pursuing Bhaskar. And so I have completed my first year of Bhaskar. But now it's like I'm parallelly, since I'm working also, and it's like I have to learn and I have to come to a stage, wherein I can say that I am eligible for appearing for my final year of Bhaskar, because it is not just to get the certificate and just to clear the exam. So that is where my Guruji suggested me, once regarding the EPGP. And this is somewhere in the 2017 when I was Googling, and that is where I saw your lectures online, and especially the snapshot which you showed today. And already I saw that in 2017, and I went through your lecture also on this Alaripu. There, that is where you have, and there's a document also. The PDF is also there of your lecture with all the counting, all the in-depth, that how we should look at the performance, because Alarupu is the very first item of Bharatanatyam. So we all just take it as, okay, we just have to learn the adabus and we have to perform. But the kind of insight that you gave in that lecture and the way you were teaching your students, and I saw you were having 3 students, and in one of your lecture you gave that Tattakali to one of your student to play, and you were teaching them that also, that how you should play also, and you should be able to sing that syllabus on your own. So that was very knowledgeable. And so that's where, when I got to know that today you are going to be there for this session, I was really so excited, because for me it was like you are like a celebrity. You will be coming there and I'll get to see you, to hear you. And towards the end I really wanted to speak to you. At least I can talk to you, because I don't know whether I'll get this chance once again in my life or not, to be able to talk to you now.
I am very human and my mobile is there. Please call me anytime that you feel like talking.
Thank you,
All of
thank you
you,
so
all
much.
of you, please feel free to talk to me. I will have a lot of fun talking to you. And if
Thank
I
you.
can be of any assistance, it would be just wonderful.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much, ma'am. It was really like the goddess of dance is there and she's telling
Oh,
us. And honestly speaking, this ICDF, this platform has given me, the chance to meet,
so many
I am not able to explain it. Like all the, all the experts are there,
Yes.
whom I can look up to learn and to pursue. Because as a learner from a North Indian family, it's like we don't have that connection, and this is that family wherein I see that we do get that connection with the dance. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. Keeping in mind the time, we will have to conclude this session. Maybe I could share Didi's ID, which, I mean, maybe your email ID or your phone number, Didi, as per, so that they can get in touch with you. And before we conclude, Gopakumar sir, would you like to say a few words about the session?
One thing, the me that you saw on the video teaching Alaripu, I had just finished my chemotherapy and treatment of cancer. The 2 years of EPG course that we created was through my cancer treatment. And about 3 weeks before, I was a COVID patient. So this is what dance teaches you. This is what dance is.
Ma'am, your words and your this experience is so motivating, ma'am. Really, I'm feeling blessed. Thank you so much.
Parul, then can we have your contact number or some email ID?
Contact number is in the.
I shall post it on the chat box, or maybe, sir, if you can, we will share it with you along with.
We'll share it in
Yeah,
the
we will
ICT
share it
group.
on the
There's no
group
problem.
along with the
Yeah.
recording of the video.
Madam, before we end, I would like to ask one question. Many our dancers are asking because they do not have a degree or anything. They want to do distance education because there are IT people and all. They want to do distance education. So in Bharatanatyam, which is the best institute, for Kathak, which is the best institute, they
When
are
you
asking.
want to do distant education, no dance, because UGC and I advocated that there can be no distance education for dance. This EPG is distance when you are not into, but today only you tell me, when I am teaching on Zoom, I am not satisfied because there is, in the Nritta part, there is 1-2 count difference. When I'm speaking and when the student is dancing, there is a 2 count difference. So like in EPG, we created videos which are seen, you watch that and you perform. So they have to be specially doing this. So there are no universities today in India which last was Indira Kala Vikas Kendra in Khairagarh. They have also stopped, and Tilak University in near Pune, now they have also stopped. So almost I don't know if any institute exists, because if dance wants to be at par with any other professional course, no professional course are distant education. No IGNOU courses like that.
So, ma'am, not even Kalai Kaveri now?
I don't think.
Okay.
I may check up my information, but as far as I knew, no. They're at least not recognized by university, UGC. Then if they
Okay.
are teaching and people are joining, it's a different matter. It's personal.
But ma'am, is it possible that if it's not distance, but at least on a weekly basis, if 1 or 2 classes can be taken up, so that we can do our job also and we can pursue these kind of degrees also?
Well, as far as you're looking into a university setup and UGC setup, these things are just not possible. 1 or 2 classes doesn't work in that sense. I would suggest, I am not advocating EPG, but this is the only option that you have. And now we have like one MOOCs course we offered of Natya Shastra, which is again 4 credits. We may be offering them slowly. That is massive open online course, MOOCs. That is by also CEC and Swayam.
Thank you, Didi, and thanks a lot to all the participants. I'm sure that many more questions that is arising in all our minds. We will get in touch with you on a very personal note offline.
Yes.
And it is wonderful readily accepting our invitation and addressing such confusing thoughts that was there in many of our minds. It's really enlightened us. Thank you so much, Didi, on behalf of ICDA. We thank you for giving your valuable time today. And it's been a wonderful experience for all of us listening to you. Thank you so much. And thanks, participants, for always being there. I think we've had more than 65 participants today, but I think people are just left in between. But I'm sure in the middle of the session, there were around 65 participants. So which itself shows the keenness and the passion that they have towards dance. Thanks a lot for accepting.
So ma'am, on behalf of the ICDA, I would like to extend our heartfelt thanks to Dr. Parul Shah. Thank you very much. It is an excellent session. It is an excellent session. We will always remember you. And you're also a member of the ICDA. And any member can approach anytime our Dr. Parul Shah. And I would also like to thank Sharanya for the excellent hosting. She is a professional anchor and a professional dancer. And we are really lucky to have Sharanya as the coordinator for from Maharashtra. So thank you very much, Sharanya. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Gopakumar sir. Thank you, Sharanya, and thank you all of you to be here this evening. I enjoyed talking to you, and feel free to
Thank you very much,
call
madam.
me anytime.
Thank you. Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
Parul Ben. It was
Thank
very
you.
lovely session.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, madam.